Margaret Thompson, 75, widowed 5 years and living alone in rural Yorkshire, found him chained to an oak tree during her morning walk through the woods. A massive man, tattooed and bleeding, wearing a Hell's Angels vest. Every instinct screamed run, but Margaret had spent 40 years as a teacher. She couldn't walk away from someone in pain. "Help," he croaked. She worked the knots free with arthritic fingers, remembering Robert's sailing lessons, cleaned his wounds. The man, Jake Miller, was a Royal Marines veteran turned biker, beaten and left to die by his own crew for refusing to torch an old woman's shop. Margaret took him home. Her daughter Sarah arrived with the grandchildren and was horrified. "Mom, look at him." But Margaret saw past the ink and violence to the haunted soldier underneath, like her brother David, who'd come home from Falklands broken. Then Derek came, the gang leader who chained Jake to that tree. He tossed photos onto the porch, Sarah's children at school, at the playground. Surveillance photos. 48 hours. Come back or we come get you. Jake wanted to run. Margaret had a better plan. She called Detective Inspector Michael Harrison, a former student she taught to read 42 years ago. Together with Sarah, who analyzed Derek's businesses, they discovered systematic money laundering, launderettes reporting impossible revenue, car washes claiming numbers that defied physics. Jake's friend Tommy, still inside the gang, photographed Derek's ledgers. When Derek found out, he took Tommy hostage. At midnight, Margaret drove to the abandoned petrol station alone, a recorder in her cardigan pocket. Derek expected Jake. He got a 75-year-old woman who listened, asked questions, and let his vanity do the work. "Most people don't understand," Derek boasted, explaining his operation in detail. Every word recorded. When she gave the signal, D.I. Harrison and his officers moved in. Federal charges followed. 43 counts of money laundering, racketeering, extortion. Jake testified before a federal grand jury, holding nothing back. He started therapy at the Veterans Center, began leading support groups, teaching carpentry, helping other broken soldiers find their way back. Months later, the town gathered in Margaret's garden to thank her. D.I. Harrison, the boy she taught to read decades ago, spoke for them all. "Mrs. Thompson taught me to read when I was 8. This summer, she taught this entire village what courage looks like." That evening, they sat on the porch together, rocking chairs creaking softly in rhythm. Jake squeezed her hand. "When you found me in those woods, I thought that was the end. Turns out it was just the beginning." "That's what family does," Margaret said. "We find each other in the dark, and we hold on." For the first time in years, Jake's head was quiet. For the first time since Robert died, Margaret's house wasn't empty. The stars turned overhead, and they sat together, knowing the light would return in the morning. It always did.